Chapter 1. Blue lights strobe and synchronize with pulses beating between his temples. No memory, no place. The pulses paralyze in agony. James Barrows, 7th grade. The other? No ID yet. Football team by the look of his jacket. Number 5. Got it. Shapes like liquid spirals rise and shatter in waves across his vision. Commands are sent to hands and arms, but no movement is evident. Still, he knows he is not dead and means to prove it when weight upon his chest forces him back into place. Don't fight us, okay? A feminine voice instructs him. You've been banged up pretty badly, so just stay still until an ambulance arrives. He tries to speak, but words will not come. Gasping, he gives up. He stays quiet, and as the seconds count away, his vision clears. If only the pain would follow. Now at least he knows himself to be lying on his back, lying on the ground. A slender woman kneels over him, a police officer, though her face is obscured beneath locks of hair that he cannot move out of his eyes. Who are you? He is able to inquire after some time has passed. Shh, rest easy, kid, says the lady officer, and her face comes into view. Not young, not old. Not unpleasant to look at, though somebody should probably take away her makeup and bury it. I'm Officer Darren. You're going to be just fine, but I want you to keep still and save your strength. He nods slightly, but that is enough to send him right back to the edge of consciousness. Impulse draws his hand back to the back of his head, where the pain seems to originate, but it's hard to say what motivates him next. Christ, kid, I told you to stay still! Officer Darren scolds him and tries to force him back down, but every move he makes is so sudden, so unpredictable that he's on his feet before she can lay her hands on him. To his left, he darts away, but the officer snags his arm and this time stops him. He would have stopped himself a step away. There's so much blood that it puddles beneath their feet, splashes their shoes and the hem of their pants. He stumbles back and falls against a wall. Brick and mortar with stone blocks near the foundation. School? He's still at school? He never made it home today. What happened to him? He asks of no one in particular. To who? Asks Officer Darren as she seems to look past him for a moment and signal with her eyes. Now there's a shadow cast over them both. Another officer, probably. Who was with you? It was Nick. What happened? He says. We don't know yet, Officer Darren informs him, adding, What's Nick's last name? Hayes, says James. And you are? Officer Darren continues. I'm James, he says. Barrows, ma'am. Again, Officer Darren looks past him, and this time she nods. This way, James. She tries to lead him away, but James will not budge. What happened? Asks James. Is he okay? Nick Hayes' brother, says whoever it was who'd walked up earlier. Officer Darren nods. Walt's fine, she tells James. Now I need you to come with me, or your mom might get to the ER before we do. Right. James nods wearily and stumbles as he's led. He trips, but clings to Officer Darren's arm. By the time she's helped him back to his feet, he's facing the other way. Timing. What bad timing for the ranks to break. Paramedics had knelt close, forming a wall that obscured the scene from view. But now one turns to face the other, beside him, and then both rise. Both leave. It's open, a clear view. But what he sees is not immediately recognizable as a crime scene. There's blood, but no body. Only a sleeve peering out from beneath a white sheet stained crimson. Nick? He gasps. He's on the ground, scrambling away. A little help here? Officer Darren calls over her shoulder as she fights to recapture him. No, shit, no! James cries. It didn't. It can't. Take it easy, kid, Officer Darren cries in renewed alarm. Whoever it was is gone now. You're safe, so try to calm down. No, you don't understand, continues James, though he doesn't struggle anymore, doesn't flee. His hand, look, his hand! Oh, Jesus, mutters Officer Darren, but she speaks much louder when she continues. "Somebody cover that up! His hand!" James whimpers. "I did it. I really did it this time. Hey, one of you medics get your ass over here and help me with this kid before he hurts himself!" shouts Officer Darren, but James can barely hear her by now. And by the time help has arrived, he's already lost consciousness.